Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Good morning. Your coffee is percolating. It's almost ready. Look at this. Not even 9 o'clock. The old captain's up and at 'em. Contributing to his favorite charity, gross domestic product, GDP. You should contribute. The only charity worth contributing to is GDP. Anyway, Zach has a quick one. Please watch this video and publish a response on YouTube. Please let me know your price. Video is about 27 minutes long. It was from Zach. And it is a video called The Loan by Coach Red Pill. Many of you know him. He's come on the scene relatively recently. And he's very good. I listen to him somewhat regularly. And then I'm trying to peg down his accent because I think he was either brought up in Chile or spent some time in Chile. Now he's in Ukraine. He's an economist. But he has this accent. I'm almost jealous of it as Stefan Molyneux's accent. But anyway, so it's called The Loan. I'm going to summarize. I'll provide the link to it below, but you can look it up. What it is about is a story where he lent $20,000 to a third cousin's aunt or somebody. They lent it to some cousin, second cousin of his, and it was supposed to be paid back in 6 months for $20,000. And he didn't get paid back until 7 years down the road. And the story of him hounding him, how do you get the money, talk to a lawyer. And inevitably it wasn't until he not threatened him directly, but said, I'm going to sell the loan to someone. Did this guy also, and poof, the money came up. He found the money and actually paid Coach Red Pill back. And so he wanted please put a response. And so it's something that most of you veteran Cappy listeners probably know, but let's go through why you neither a lender nor a borrower be. You do not borrow for obvious reasons, because borrowing money requires more labor, more seconds of your finite years of your finite life. It costs you your freedom in what is technically unnecessary interest. Now, it's necessary because you can contractually obliged yourself to pay it. But let's really understand what debt is. Debt is you being unable to delay gratification until you work up the cash to pay for something. And instead, because you're impatient and you're stupid, you go into debt. You promise the lender more of your finite seconds of lives, in case decades of lives, if you're buying a stupid degree, in the future. You are enslaving yourself to the bank, and you do this on purpose. I don't care, I didn't know I was signed. Too freaking bad there, lady. You signed the dotted line. You are independent, strong, independent-minded woman, don't need no man, fish, bicycle. You're a guy, you're gonna have fun. You signed the dotted line. All right, we gotta treat you, on one hand, we gotta treat you like brilliant people. In the other instance, he wants to treat you like morons. In any case, you are signing a car loan, a mortgage, student degree, credit card debt. You are saying, oh, this car, if I paid for it cash, would take me, $10,000 for a used car. They'll take me, $10,000 take-home pay averaging. That'll take me, a year. That's a year of my labor. After I pay for everything else, the residual money I should have left over would be roughly $10,000. So be a year and a half of my time, my labor is expended to pay for that car. When you finance the car, depending on the interest rate and how bad your credit is, it can be 2 years, 3 years, maybe not 4. If you're doing 4, you got a very high interest rate for a car. And that's enslavement, that you don't get that time back. The only thing that might be worth going into debt for is an investment. And that is where you take the lending proceeds, you take the proceeds from the loan, and you invest it in some kind of investment that pays more than the interest rate you are paying on it. Very simple example would be you borrow at 4% from the bank and you invest it in the stock market, and hopefully, it makes 8%. You can actually make money on debt. More common one is a house. A lot of people, a house isn't an investment, you can rent, it's cheaper. Those arguments aside, the idea is that you have to live somewhere. If you find the right property in the right town for the right size family, you will save money on rent, and maybe the house might go up in value, or in price I should say, not value, and then you might come out ahead. Or you invest in a degree, a STEM degree, a degree that would be highlighted here in this book, worthless, books, degrees to avoid, such as engineering, accounting, and so forth, and that boosts your wage beyond the interest you're going to pay on your student loans. Now, this is all very complicated stuff for you millennials and Gen Zers. I know none of you were taught compound mathematics, and you are so smart. You are so smart. But for those of you that have your heads out of your asses, that is the reason why you do not borrow money. It's because you don't want to enslave yourself and piss away your life. That's it. That's how simple it is. So you don't borrow. You get by with how old is my truck? 15 years? You learn to do your own maintenance. I don't borrow. The only thing I borrowed money for was my house. My student loans, I socked away. It was interest-free loans. I socked it away in a CD that paid 6%, back when CDs paid 6%. So that's why you never run. Now, on the other side, you do not lend. And the reason you do not lend is because you are not in the business of lending and going and collecting your money and being a debt collector. You do lend your money to a bank when you deposit money. That technically is lending. Maybe you invest in a bond index fund or a very well diversified portfolio in your 401k or IRA. That is technically lending. But what we're talking about here is you do not lend money to individuals that you know or don't know, because you now have unnecessarily exposed yourself to risk. And if someone's coming up to you as a person, as an individual, me being a banker, me being a former credit analyst, I will tell you that is a very, very, very high risk. Because if you're coming in, I need a $20,000 loan, banks are structured and designed to facilitate such transactions. They are allowed, they know what they're doing, the pros in that regard. If someone's coming up to you as an individual, that means the pros have shot them down. This is a thief coming to borrow money from you, right? I understand. I had a buddy, and I knew him personally. I knew and he needed $1,000, and so he could get a car, because his other car had repaired. Yeah, sure, here you go, and he paid me back. And I think another one. Another $1,000. I forgot what she used it for, but this was small money, and I knew these people, right? And I would, even then, I probably would not have done that again. But when someone comes up asking you for $20,000, you say no. Go to a bank. Go to a bank. Go to a payday lender. Get a credit card. Take the money out on that. There's other entities out there that will deal with that. So the first rule is you never lend people money on an individual basis, unless it's some pittance of an amount and you're more than willing to afford to lose it. Right? If you are going to lend money, well, then you better start hedging your risk. One, you never lend without a signed contract. Once you have a clearly stated signed contract, then you have the judicial system that will be able to help you out. You say, he didn't make the contract, I'd like you and go, the court system, go get that money. Now you got to go and see, but even that's not worth it, because now you got to waste your time collecting it. Now you got to go to get a lawyer. Now you got to go to small claims court or large claims court or just regular courts in general. That costs money. You see how much you're wasting your time? On one hand, you're wasting your time because you borrowed money. Now you got to work extra parts of your life away paying for interest. Then when you lend money, you just gave somebody a whole bunch of your life and your time because you worked it up. And now you got to spend more of your life going and getting it. Forget money, forget interest. How much of your time is wasted and lost dicking around with life's dredges of society? You never take out a loan without collectible collateral. You never borrow. You never lend. God, that drives me. Can you borrow me some money? No, I can't borrow you some money. That's physically impossible. I will lend you some money. Well, you know what I meant. No, actually, I did not, Mr. fucking college degree. You don't lend money without collateral that you possess. Right? House, that's a different thing. There's legal protection. He's like, oh, you want $20,000? Okay, sign over your nice new car to me. You want $20,000? You know, I need a place to live for the next 2 years. Give me keys to your house. I'm going to just move my shit in. Right? But aside from that, now you got to deal with legally collecting the collateral. How are you going to do that? Now you got to go get the law firms in. Now you got to go use the legal system. And all this problem that Coach Red Pill faced when he was a younger man was due to the fact that his borrower, his cousin or whatever, made a huge mistake. And he made a mistake lending him this money, but I equate that to being the same mistake. The reason the guy needed this money is because he went into business. Sorry. Business. We'll start a dropshipping company. I'm a Castle School graduate, man. I'm like majoring in business. Those morons, they're going to major in business. They're going to go into business. They don't know any accounting. They don't have a product. They just think entrepreneurship is easy. And he took on a business partner. I do believe old Cappy has mentioned many times, wrote an article about it, put it in several of my books. You never take on a business partner. And the reason why is because most people take on business partners, especially when they're younger, because they're bored and they just want to, they think it's going to be fun. They want to take on a business partner with somebody. 99% of the time, where I've seen business partners, one guy could have just done it without the other guy. And what always happens with business partners is one guy does all the work and finances the entire thing. The other guy is the parasitic loser who does absolutely nothing. All right? You do not go into business with anyone, and you do not lend somebody money who has gone into a partnership with anyone. All right? That is doomed to fail. That's like having sex with a girl who has herpes and she says, well, I'm not in an outbreak now. Hit me without a condom. Right? That's the dice you're rolling right there. So that is the rules that if you are going to lend to somebody, if what you have to do to hedge your bets. But God Almighty, don't lend anyone money. Now, the fallout of this with Coach Red Pill is what is typical of your average human scumbags, and most humans are scumbags. I'm going to talk about the statistics of this later. The fact that Coach Red Pill dared to request his money back, not to mention a modicum of interest to compensate him for all this harassing and haranguing, hunting this guy down. The family, upon that, was appalled. He was somewhat ostracized from this part of the family because he dared to request a family member pay him back his money. And this is where humans start to show their evil side. Humans, I don't care if they're family or friends or not, most humans are scumbags. In this particular case, the borrower knew damn well what he was doing. And because it's proven at the end of the story, and the best part of the story is where he consults a lawyer and says, how do I get my money back? He says, we can't do it legally because you don't have a contract, won't work in the legal system. But you could sell your loan to somebody who is not a nice guy, who will go and get the money back through unconventional methods. And all Coach Red Pill had to do was say, pay me or I'm selling the loan. And then his scumbag cousin knew exactly what that meant. Because I surmise, I don't know if Coach Red Pill has gotten street smart enough since then, this guy knew exactly what he was doing the entire time. And this is what most people who borrow money on an individual basis, who never pay you back, they know consciously very well what they're doing. They're scum. They're thieves. They're parasites. And you are an easy mark, and they're just going to keep on delay. And they usually have borrowed from other people. And they'll borrow from Rob to pay Steve, and they'll borrow from Steve to pay Bill, and they'll borrow from Bill to pay Mike. They are dumb, incredibly dumb, thinking that they can keep doing this. And again, I'm going back to Clary's universal theory of laziness. It's all laziness that describes this. People don't want to work, and there's a short-term temporary solution to borrow from a naive young Coach Red Pill. Oh, I got all this money. I think He even said that the money, no, Coach Red Pill found out the finances of this douchebag, and this guy was living at home rent free, and with his mom, and his mom sold a piece of property for life. So he had the money at any point in time. He just probably either pissed it away, or sometimes I would have put past these people to be complete dicks and get off on stretching along Mr. Nice Guy. Probably had a hate boner for Coach Red Pill. Because maybe Coach Red Pill was the good guy and he's working hard, and that scumbag, Mr. Goody Two Shoes. Don't ever discount greed, envy, and hate. Don't ever. So the guy knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he was stringing Coach Red Pill along. And the real price that Coach Red Pill paid, he inevitably got his money, but it wasn't a loss of interest that he could have had. It was that he had to go through all of this pain and agony and stress and waste his time collecting back the life that he gave the borrower. People would argue, maybe even Coach Red Pill would argue, that the loss of family members, like this ostracized him and his mom from other parts of that family. I would say good riddance. The captain does not believe blood is thicker than water. Water is water. At least I could do something with water. Unless your blood type is my blood type, I have no use for your blood, family or not. That's good riddance. Because it shows you what people lack: a clear thought, logic, morality, principles. Did you still, God almighty, parents will get, Mikey, did you steal little Bobby's football? Give him back the football. Hey, but if you steal $20,000, well, God, that's family. That mindless, dumb shit. Tribalism kicks in, which has done society so well now in the new world. So that is what you're dealing with when you lend money to these type of people. People who are scumbags, people who are high credit risk, people who have no intention of paying you back, and sometimes people are sadists, just want to fuck with you. So why are there so many? He was a cousin, this was a family. Okay, guys, this is why. This is why you never lend your family or friends money. All right? Most people in the world, your family or not, even your friends or not, are scumbags. Half the population collects a government check. Half the population votes Democrats, or because Coach Red Pill was in Chile, roughly half vote for socialism. They vote for parasitism. Half the population is parasitic. Right? Half the population thinks they're entitled. Now, they may not forcefully think they're entitled, consciously think they're entitled to other people's money. But when it comes to survival, perfect example, again, lending, you'll lend money to some Wyoming trailer park douchebag to go buy a trailer, a plot on a trailer park and buy his trailer. Then when this guy doesn't pay you, it says on the contract, hey, you didn't pay us. We took some depositors' money, some hardworking people's money, and lent it to you. You have not paid us back, and we have not been able to pay them back. And then when you go to repossess somebody's home, oh my God, they think that that's their house. That is not your house. That's the bank's house. You might have the deed, but you also have a contract and use other people's money to pay that back, and you got to pay back those people's money. And so people have this entitlement. They think they're entitled to other people's shit. And that's half the population. Consciously or not, they, on an instinctual, survivalistic mentality, they believe that it's right. And ferociously so, especially when you try and repossess somebody's car. They'll come out and try and kill you or shoot you. And just listen to Terrence Popp's stories about him repossessing cars, repossess houses. I remember I had to go and start threatening people, not violently. I'm like, you want the sheriff to kick you out this weekend? I had a very good success rate in collecting money. Because bankers are pussies. Well, we sent him a nasty crap. Dude, you're 6'5" and a big guy. Can't you just go over there and yell at him? No, rely on the 5'8" kid who's $1.45 to do it. Okay, I guess I'll have to go and collect some money. Anyway, when you actually try to repossess, that's why you guys send the sheriff out there. Because these people think they're entitled. They think they deserve other people's money. Whether that's a conscious moral or they've really thought it through, I think most people don't understand what. Because all you people with master's degree, you don't know what signing that loan means. Most of you don't understand compound interest. I can understand where you don't understand ownership. I can totally understand. And we're talking about Hicks in Wyoming. So these Neanderthals, that's pretty much what these Neanderthals, who never, it's all hindbrain. Thog live in cave. The cave, thog's cave. No banker come collect thog from his cave. Thog hit banker caveman overhead. My cave! That's the level of people. And you're lending to those people. You're lending to those people. I would say today there's also a vile, evil strain of people that know exactly what they're doing. And they'll act, they'll come up, they'll squirm. Oh, the squirmers, they'll squirm. But you never lend these parasites your money. Never. Never. And when it's something, when what precipitated the need to borrow money is that my business. Oh man, I tried to do like day trading and swing trading, and I took this class all night. Oh, I lost all my money. There's a margin call. I need like $30,000. Too bad for you. Guess you gotta go work. Alright, that's it. Long version, neither a borrower nor a lender be. If you want more financial genius, go read my book, Bachelor Pad Economics. Very simple 101 stuff. Well, okay, it's not so simple, but it's brilliant shit that I wrote, and everybody should read that book. You can find that on the Amazon. So we'll see you guys later. Toodles.